Hey guys, welcome to Planning with Crystal. So today we're going to be having a look at Pact Coffee's Nespresso compatible pods. So this is the box they come in, and it's a really well designed box, coffee without compromise, because it does just fit through your letterbox, so there's no waiting in for the postman, although that's not a massive issue at the moment. We're all stuck in our houses, aren't we? So the lovely people over at Pact have sent me over their 4 coffee blends that they do in a pod so that we can try them out together, and I'll let you know what I think of each one. So the way this works, you can buy them as one-off pods, or you can sign up to a subscription. So if you want all 4 flavours, or you want 4 of one of the flavours, you can get 4 boxes for $19.95 as a one-off payment, or $18.95 if you want to sign up to a subscription. And if you want to save £5 on your first box, I'll put a code on the screen and under the video, and then you can get your box that little bit cheaper. So it says here what goes into a Pact coffee pod. So the best beans, 100% specialty grade, individually tailored roast profiles, freshly ground coffee sealed in tight, works with most Nespresso compatible machines, obviously original line only. They are 100% recyclable aluminium casing, and we're going to look at how we do the recycling a little bit later, and free delivery direct to your door. So these are the 4 flavours that they do. Let's have a look at the packaging to start with, and then we'll start brewing some of the coffees. So first of all, here we've got milk chocolate, plum and walnut, and they're the flavours you can expect in this particular pod. And these pods are Buenos Aires, Colombia. And I love how on the box it tells you that it's got notes of rich plum and milk chocolate, which are supported by a silky mouthfeel, gentle acidity and a caramel sweetness. This balance leads to a deliciously long walnut aftertaste. I love the fact that they've got a little comment here from the farmer. One great thing about Pact Coffee is that they deal directly with the farmers so that they get the best price for their coffee. And it tells you here who's produced it and where. It tells you about the sweetness, the acidity and the mouthfeel, as well as the strength, which they've done here in little coffee beans. And it tells you can learn a little bit more about it on their website, of course. And this is what the pod itself looks like. And this particular blend can actually be brewed as a lungo or an espresso, and they recommend that you do them as an espresso, but if you are a kind of lungo fan, then Buenos Aires is one of the ones that they recommend to be used as a lungo because it is a stronger coffee, so it works better if you are going to use a lungo function to obviously use a stronger coffee. So let's get brewing. Pop this up here in the top of my machine, and this is the Creatista Pro machine. If you want to see a video of me unboxing this and making every coffee it can make, if you're interested in the machine itself, I'll link that at the end of the video. And I also did a comparison with the Plus machine as well, so if you're trying to decide between the two, that might just help you. I'm going to get a glass cup like this just so that you can see the coffee when it is brewing into the cup, and I'm going to select an espresso. So we're just going to do that standard espresso size. So now then, one thing that you do notice when you use compatible pods is that the coffee runs through a little bit slower than it does normally, only very slightly, and we have still got that same amount of espresso volume there in the cup, and you can just see the colour of this one. And it's got the nice crema there on top. And that has got a nice kind of almost like a filter coffee taste, if you know what I mean. It's not massively strong or powerful. I do get the tastes particularly of the walnut coming through more than anything else. That little hint of plum and a little bit of a kind of chocolatey aftertaste, I would say. And then next up we've got raspberry and cream. And this one is Umaraj, Rwanda. And it says here, a charismatic raspberry flavour matches perfectly with the intense refined sugar sweetness, complementing the creamy body. The acidity is delicate, but adds balance to the richness, reminiscent of raspberry fool. And then we can see here that they've asked the producer, why did you name the washing station Umerej, which means heritage? And then it tells you a little bit of a story there about why they did that. So I like that. It adds a kind of real personal touch. Tells you a little bit more there about that producer and the family. And then it tells you about, obviously, the sweetness, acidity and mouthfeel, as well as the strength. So as you can see, this is a rather lovely pink coloured capsule. We're going to make another espresso sized coffee. So you can see again, this is a rather lighter colour than last time. It's got the nice crema there on the top, and that is what it looks like up close. It looks quite a bit darker on the camera than it actually is. It's more of a light brown colour in real life. So in terms of the raspberry flavour, I would say if you've ever had raspberry and dark chocolate, it's kind of like that sort of taste within the coffee. It's definitely there, you can definitely taste it, but it's not a majorly kind of fruity raspberry. It's a kind of strong, like almost like I said, as if it was a dark chocolate raspberry flavour. Really rather nice. I like that one a lot. It's a lovely coffee to drink just completely on its own and just really enjoy the flavours in there. That brings us to Apricot and Nectarine. This coffee is called Matazano Honduras. So, this wonderfully balanced coffee, which perfectly combines the flavours of ripe nectarines and juicy apricots, is imbued with a ripe, fruity sweetness and a light aftertaste of cocoa nibs. And the farmer, David, then tells us a little bit about his farm in Matazano. And it's got a little more information again about sweetness, acidity and mouthfeel, along with the strength. And the box is open just like the usual Nespresso pods do. So this one is a gold coloured pod. Let's pop it in the machine and make another coffee. So this is a really light brown, almost golden tinge to it. Let's have a taste of this one. Oh, so you can really smell that apricot and nectarine. Oh, so this is really, really fruity on the tongue. You're definitely getting the apricot and nectarine flavours through more than anything. So if you like a really fruity kind of coffee, this is definitely going to be the one. Whereas the raspberry and cream one that we just had before this was not anywhere near as fruity really. It was, like I said, a more kind of raspberry dark chocolate taste to me. Whereas this one is super fruity, apricot and nectarine. So that brings us to the last flavour, dark chocolate cherry and almond, which I think I'm most excited about. This is probably the sort of flavour profile that most appeals to me and the sort of coffee I like. So these are called Surtail and it's from Brazil. So it says, the heavy bitterness of dark chocolate really stands out in this cup, offset perfectly by undertones of cherry, a jammy sweetness and a light almond note that trails into the aftertaste. And then they've asked the farmer there to describe their relationship with Pact coffee. And it tells you a little bit more about the region it comes from, and it talks of sweetness, acidity and mouthfeel along with strength. this colour is sort of somewhere between a kind of pinky, sort of salmony reddish colour, I would say. And this one, I think I'm actually going to make it as a lungo, because it does say that you can do with this particular blend. So as a change for the last one I'm making for you today, I'm going to do it as a lungo. So of course, with it being a lungo, I'm obviously expecting it to be quite a bit lighter in colour when it comes through, just because it's obviously got a lot more water content. It's actually quite dark considering I've brewed this as a lungo. I'm quite impressed with that. Still got that lovely crema there on the top. So I do kind of get the dark chocolate at the back of the throat. The cherry becomes apparent quite quickly, but the cherry, it's not sort of acidic. It's definitely more of a bitter taste, as they've said, and I get the kind of almond going through as well. This, I think, is my favourite blend of the lot, all down to personal kind of taste and choice and things like that. But for me, I think the kind of two standout flavours in this box for me and my personal taste would definitely be Buenos Aires Colombia and the Surtail Brazil. So they're the two stronger flavours in the box, whereas the two in the middle are slightly more kind of fruity and acidic. So again, hopefully that will give you some idea of what you are most likely to like dependent on your kind of coffee preferences. So what I'd like to do now is look a little bit about recycling the capsules. If you're interested in the strength of the coffees as well, the two at the bottom are the same strength as each other, and then that one's a little bit stronger and that's the strongest, and the two strongest are probably my favourites if I'm honest. So there we go. And then in the bottom of the box that your capsules come in, it tells you how to recycle. So it says that the pods are made of aluminium, making them 100% recyclable. Just rinse out any grounds, stack to the height of a tin can, squeeze them together and pop in your recycling. So I'm going to see how easy that is to do using one of the capsules we've just used. So here are the capsules. I'm going to go for whichever's probably the coolest. Seems to be this one actually. So I've just got a little bowl here so I can kind of help scoop it out. So it suggests doing this with a spoon. So I've just got, this is just a little Nespresso spoon. So you're going to try and get through the, obviously the metal part there. I'm spilling coffee grounds all over the side. I'm probably getting them all over my fingers. This is probably a lesson in how not to do it, but hopefully this will assist if this is something you're looking at doing. Perhaps a slightly smaller spoon would have been better. Let me see, stand by. Okay, so I've got a slightly different shaped spoon. Yeah, that gets it. So a standard teaspoon is much better than the kind of spoon I was trying to use that was like an espresso one. So yeah, so if you've ever wondered what the inside of these coffee pods look like, there is your ground coffee after it's all been dispensed and used. So then I'm going to rinse this out, and then it recommends that when you've got quite a few of them, you stack them up to about the height of a tin can, squeeze a little bit and pop them in your recycling. So that wasn't too difficult at all. That's just literally a really light rinse there under the tap, dead easy, and makes me feel a little bit better that I can recycle my pods after I've used them. So my kind of overall thoughts with this, if you've ever tried Pact's ground coffee, which is what I used to use before I got a coffee machine, it really does taste like their other kinds of coffees, but obviously in an espresso type blend. So you're really getting a bit of a taste adventure. So is it worth trying out Pact coffee, I'd say so really, just to get some kind of different flavours in there. If you really want to sit and you want to savour the different flavours and go on, like I said, a little bit of a taste adventure, then this would be a really great option for you. And if you do decide that you want to try out these coffees at home, please let me know which one your favourite is and what you think of the blends, and definitely check out that discount code if you do want to get £5 off your first box. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you do like Nespresso videos, feel free to leave me a comment if there's anything in particular you would like me to review. I plan to do some more reviews of different coffee pods, so if that's something you want to see, definitely hit that subscribe button and the notification button and you'll get notified when those videos go up. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.